Hello, this is Sandra Cho with Pointwealth Capital Management, and today we're going to be talking about educational accounts. So the first account that I'm going to be talking about are 529 plans. And 529 plans are a wonderful saving vehicle, especially when you're saving for higher education. 529 plans are named after the IRS code 529, and you put in money after tax, and then if your child is young, that money has a long time to grow. When you take out that money, it's all tax-free. It sounds really great. Well, it gets even better. In certain states, you get a state tax deduction for the money that you put in to save for your child's education. Unfortunately, not for California where I live, but there are definitely quite a few states that do give a tax deduction. Now, some points about 529 plans are that it must be used for higher education. Otherwise, you get a 10% federal withholding penalty. Do be aware of that. And the money, like I mentioned before, grows and grows and grows because you can invest it in different investment options. You can be as conservative, moderate, or aggressive as you want to be. You can also even do age-based investment options so that the money's invested very aggressively when they're younger and gets more and more conservative as they near the age where they're going to start college. So that's one way to go with 529 plans. Now, you can be the owner as a parent of a 529 plan, but really anyone can be the owner. So a grandparent can be the owner of a 529 plan. The nice thing is, starting from October 2022, a grandparent can be the owner, and none of the money is considered against the child when determining whether they qualify for financial aid, unlike a parent. So if a parent is the owner of a 529 plan, then 5.64% of the money held in that 529 plan will be considered when determining financial aid. Let me give you an example. Let's say I put in money into my child's 529 plan right when they're born, and you do have to wait until they're born. And then I put in money, and it grew and it grew and it grew. The child turned 18, the child's about to go to college. I've saved a whopping $100,000. Sounds fantastic, but even better than that is they might qualify for financial aid depending on how much I make. And if that's the case, out of that $100,000, only $5,640 is counted when determining financial aid. And if instead of me being the owner, if their grandparent is the owner, then none of it is considered against them when determining financial aid. The nice thing about a 529 plan is that you have higher limits of contribution. In fact, you can contribute $16,000 into a 529 plan per child per year without ever having to declare that on your tax return. And that can be very significant, especially, say, for example, if other people contribute. So let's say I can only contribute $5,000 a year, but maybe their grandparents are able to contribute $16,000, and maybe my significant other contributes some money, maybe on their birthdays or Christmas. Instead of birthday gifts or Christmas gifts, I ask them to contribute to the 529 plan. And then they're able to accumulate so much faster. Also, that $16,000, let's say I have a windfall inheritance and I want to contribute more than that $16,000. Well, you can contribute up to 5 years ahead of time and then just not contribute for the next 4 years. That means 16,000 times 5, and then I can put that in so that money has more time to grow for them. Another thing is that 529 plans are pretty flexible. Not only can they be used for tuition, but also housing, books. They can be used for technology, like a laptop. And let's say that child wants to study abroad and use that money for a university in another country. They can do that. A trade school, as long as it's accredited. So there's lots of different ways that it can be used. If it's not used for that, and let's say the child, they get a scholarship, they're so smart that they don't need that 529 plan money. Well, guess what? You can change the beneficiary on that 529 plan to your grandchild, your great-grandchild, and so on and so on and so on. In fact, it can go up to 5 generations of tax deferral. So it is amazing. It's not the only educational account that exists. So you can have also a UTMA or UGMA account, which is a custodial account. So let's say, for example, you want to give money to your child or your grandchild, but you want them to be able to use it for anything, not just education, but maybe to buy a car, or buy a house in their future. Well, you can do that. Just know that it'll count more against them when financial aid is being determined. So it can affect financial aid up to 25%. So it's just a good thing to be aware of. Also, the great thing is that you can have a Roth IRA. You yourself can have a Roth IRA, and you can use that money for your education, your kids' education, your grandchild's education, or your spouse's education. So some people use a Roth IRA or a Roth 401k as an alternative to an educational account. So there are lots of different ways you can save for education for your child, but also don't forget to save for yourself. Retirement is also very important, and you don't want to save for your child's education only, leave yourself behind, and then become a burden to your children later on in life. Thank you so much. I strongly encourage you to talk to your investment professional when considering different educational accounts and which one might be right for you. Have a great day.